Hello, PK. Can you hear me?
Hello, Marguerite. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I was wondering if I was the only person in the world that was on tonight.
There's five people here. Um, I'm checking to see if they've got it because I'm out in California. So
Okay, yeah, I can see that there are five people.
yeah, so I'm sending a note and seeing if I can find out anything. So
Okay, okay,
okay.
I'll just stay
So
muted.
how are your bees doing, young lady?
Oh gosh. I,
You can't
um,
win, can you?
I just need more mentoring, that's all.
It it takes a while. It's not an over the night process. It takes, shoot, it was 3 or 4 years before I got them to start overwintering,
Oh,
and they like to throw you curveballs. You learn
okay.
something, and then you learn a different thing about them, and then you learn something else. So
Well, I cannot wait until I get to year 3 or 4 because right now I think it's been 2 years, but it's really been 1 year for me.
yeah, and
Yes.
it's just trying to think like a bee more than anything. If the bees are doing things, why are they doing it? What do you see? And again, each hive is a little different, and so it looks like they're connecting.
Yes.
I see the mondo. Okay,
Yes. All
okay,
right, I'll let you go. Thank you, Pat.
okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Hey, Patty.
Can you hear us from the classroom?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I had to unmute myself. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay, so yeah, so it looks like we got 6 online, and I was just talking to Marguerite. So
No, of all places, you got to take my nose. One day. I've got that that I got posted on the cabinet.
Yeah.
But I have to you're doing the audience first.
I didn't know that. I would say, Mike, sign me in.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, boy, that one, they had a turnip that was there. Oh,
Yeah.
it was just thick.
No, we haven't seen hives like that.
You cut them both out?
What?
There's two different.
Oh, there's two different.
Yeah. So there's. This is really nice, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, there's samples over here on the table.
They have those.
Take one of each.
They have those little chapstick things that probably Bobby's.
Thank you, already did me. Thank you.
Two different handouts. The first one, which I think is what Kim passed out, it has the bulk of the presentation in it. And the second one, I thought we were gonna run out of paper, so I started seeing one of the first one's got a whole big one. The other one is references and resources. So you may use it. Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead, start the meeting.
Okay, welcome to our October meeting. We got a lot of our board traveling, PK's out in California, I think Cindy's out west place. So. But we did bring in an awesome presentation from Sharon. One thing I was supposed to bring up is, do we have any nominations for board? We'll be doing board elections at the next meeting. And so is anyone interested in joining our board? About the cricket sound I was expecting.
Are there open spots or?
So our board consists of 7, and right now we do have 7 people on that board. So, I don't think we have any, it's not a desperate need for an opening, but, I'm more than willing to step down to let somebody else step in and get some new ideas, new blood in there.
I was getting ready to say, let's just keep the same 7.
We did add, Valerie last year as our new secretary. You replaced Royden, but nothing wrong with our current board. I think it's doing a good job. But
Well, the board meets, what, 3 to 4 times a year?
yeah, minimum a year.
Sometimes we have extra meetings.
Couple extra meetings like planning.
Beekeeping.
We had a 101 class.
We plan our, what we have here at the, meeting every month, plus Bees and Brews, we plan that for someone within the group. And then, we do Beekeeping 101 is one of the things that we all head out.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty much our 3 main focuses are keeping up membership, planning for our classes and any of the or for our monthly sessions and any of our hands-on presentations, and then planning for the Beekeeping 101 course, which is our big event in January.
Sure, we didn't just pop up for it.
Yeah, we did.
We pop a fuse.
I believe
so.
It was probably a power strip right there.
Yeah, and. Simon.
Yeah, that's gonna work if the TV's still going, so it wouldn't.
Well, I saw that was on a different
Oh,
power
this-
strip than the other. but-
Okay.
okay, can we plug this one in the back?
I would think so, but it's got enough for the wall. Or are you talking about just not putting it in the plug strip?
Well,
Because it's the strip itself that's doing the,
oh, yeah, that's a.
doing the disconnection. There's a plug right here.
I might have to move the table back. It's an orange.
So have we got a way to just put it straight into the wall up there?
Instead of through the.
No, I don't see.
No, there's only 2 plugs and they're attached to other.
We don't have near enough.
Plug the fan.
Oh, we unplugged the fan, there it is.
Yeah, but.
Well, the fan's plugged into a power.
Yeah,
into the power strip.
It's the break, it's
That
the,
hit.
having it plugged in the power strip that. That's part of it.
Yeah, but that thin flat.
But the only thing on that power strip was you, right?
But it was plugged into all that the other power strip, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so what's the white
So-
guy?
This is the power strip,
Okay,
so if we unplug that,
we should be able to plug directly into the wall.
sorry.
That's all right. Technical difficulty.
I don't know how power, this isn't gonna work at all.
Okay, well.
We moved the whole table.
Oh,
That's that's fine, go, keep going, nothing important.
Okay, have you got a,
I got it,
Perfect.
so it's not my extension cord, so I heard it. Right.
Well, hopefully that extension cord is high enough. We're taking it.
Mine is one, but. hopefully we'll be good.
I know.
It's not cheap, but I'm pretty sure. Take one and everything, girl. Oh, for you guys.
Here, you just said 102 you.
One basket.
Yeah, one of you were.
Nominate you to the board.
Okay, I think we want to go up to the
Sure. I know.
So do we have any other current events that we need to announce?
That's what I just, chatting with PK on Zoom, and I just asked her that exact question. Okay.
Because we got the Bees and Brews coming up.
Jeannie.
Yeah, we might want to bring that down.
There, yeah.
And I get some, mention what we're gonna do. I'll make it.
No.
God knows I've got no wood out But get something on the left.
What about this? I can close. Wait, I minimize that.
So yeah, that one over on the right. On near the bottom, there's a red circle with a bunch of, with a number in it. We have,
Share screen.
yeah, I think so.
And that's what they have down here.
I'll tell you what, I can monitor the data. We've got a couple hives that have outdone themselves.
Yeah, I've got some that are worse, a couple that are worse than the others, but.
All right, so can you guys hear us online?
I cleaned mine in the barn. I've got a good floor.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, well, you just can't see the screen.
Correct.
All right. So if we bring
Start video.
this start video.
Can see screen. Hi,
Yeah,
Kathy.
Everybody can see
Hi,
Kathy.
Sharon.
Everybody can see me with you.
Yes, you're looking at your
Yeah.
phone.
I know, I'm trying to.
There, I see you.
Nice picture, Kat.
Yeah, so your picture's here and then you're live right on the, but beyond that.
Two places at once.
Yes, you can. I see Sharon. I saw Sharon till it moved away. Tom's poking.
Yeah, I'm trying to
buttons.
poke the screen there, share screen. And then share,
Oh, wait a minute, it's circling. Aha. I can see value added products from the hive.
Oh, good.
okay. All right, well, then I think we're good to go here. We were already talking about nominations. PK, anything else we need to discuss before we dive in?
Not particularly. We do have our class coming up January 27th. It'll be at Bloomington High School. You can do registration now if you want. As anybody who's taken the class before can take it at a discount. It's $25. The hives at my place, the club hives were doing well when I left. We had actually some pretty big populations, it looked like at the time. And nothing else that I know of. Anybody who's interested in helping with the class is always welcome. We look for ideas on topics for our monthly meetings. We sometimes repeat ourselves, but you know, and Sharon does a wonderful job, so we asked her back. But if there's other topics you want, let us know, or speakers that you think you might be of interest. We had David Burns, that worked out real well. We've had somebody from California do a Zoom on the mushrooms. So if there's topics or a speaker anybody is interested in, let one of the board members send me a note, send Tom a note along those lines, and we'd be very happy to accommodate and look for new ideas on that. I think that's it for me.
All right.
There was a chat question, where is registration available? Are you talking the new class registration?
Yes, if you look, we currently have it on our website, class registration there. I will probably in my next little newsletter send out a copy of it to everybody who's here, and you are more than welcome to share that little newsletter or anything that I attach with it. You are more than welcome to share to others who have expressed interest. So
I think it was in your email too.
I'm not the class, maybe might have been the last one. So yeah, so I'll send it in any of those little emails that I send out. If somebody wants to join the email list with me, just send me a note with the address, and I'm more than welcome to send it out. So I send it out to anybody who gives me an email list, an email address. I send it out. It's usually a couple times a month, so I don't do the daily things like some places do. So, okay.
All right. There you go. Take it away.
I don't hear Sharon.
I'm coming.
Okay. Okay, just checking.
You see me?
Can't see you, but we see your slides.
Okay, good. So my name's Sharon Sang. This is our 8th year beekeeping, keeping bees. And 3 years ago, 3 years ago, we started a business selling honey that we had too much of to give away to our friends and family. I guess I can come on the side for a little bit. Well, yeah, if they can't see me, then I can just go to this side.
Unless there can be a split screen, we just see the slides.
Just talk to her.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there, or talking towards that corner, and I think they can see you on both here and on the screen.
Okay. So anyway, we started adding different products to our line. So what are value added products? We know that the basic products of the hive are bees and honey. And then there's also propolis, pollen, bee bread, beeswax, royal jelly, and bee venom. Anytime those are used to make something else, that's a value added product. And a lot of times you can get more out of the value added products that you're selling than you can from the product itself in the raw. So it's going to be tricky. Next, how do we get to the next one?
I think you can
Slide
slide your finger across.
Okay, this, if you are not familiar with this brochure, I would highly recommend checking into it. It's the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. It's old, it's 1996, but it has everything from the physical and chemical composition of each of those value-added products to how to collect it, how to store it, how to clean it, what to do with it. It's got recipes. And it's really, really helpful. I just learned recently that if you have honey that is not completely crystallized, the water precipitates out of it and can ferment. So even honey that you know the water content was good when you bottled it, if it starts to crystallize, that water can precipitate out and you can get fermentation. And we have had that happen with cream honey. So when it leaks out the top, you know, and runs down the sides, that's fermenting, and it's crystallized as well. So anyway, I'm not from this document.
So how would you prevent that, do you know? What are you doing that kind of case situation?
I think it's storage temperature.
Uh-huh.
I think probably what happened is that Crane's honey got a little too warm, so it started to liquefy, but not completely. And that's when our problems introduce. Anyway, that is also on the very last page of your second handout. It has the FAO. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. There we go. So the two we're going to talk about tonight are propolis and beeswax. Does anybody collect propolis and do anything with it? No. How about beeswax?
Tom collects propolis all over his clothes.
Okay. So we know that propolis is that sticky resinous stuff that messes up the inside of the hive. It's dewy in the summer. It's made from the sap of, mostly in our area, it would be cottonwood trees, comes from poplars and also conifers, but mostly here it's mostly poplars. The bees use it to insulate the hive and it helps to reduce water loss. It provides protection from pathogens because it's antifungal and sorry, my voice is going. And antibacterial. It makes the hive more defensible by closing up any extra entrances or entrances that they think are too big. And it mitigates putrefaction by they embalm a mouse that gets in there. It's something that's too big for them to be able to carry out of the hive. They embalm it with propolis. So propolis can be used for wound care because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and antiprotozoal. It's used for mouth hygiene and mouthwash and toothpaste. I just noticed today that Tom's of Maine that makes toothpaste has a propolis toothpaste. It's used more and more now in cosmetics because it's a great antioxidant. So it helps reduce inflammation and redness. So how do we collect propolis? Well, two basic ways. One is to scrape it off your woodenware, and the other is to use a propolis trap, which is what this is. So it looks kind of like a queen excluder, only that it's much smaller openings. So the best time to use this is late summer, and you need a robust hive. So you're going to take the inner cover off, put the propolis trap on the top, and then put sticks or an entrance reducer or something underneath your telescoping cover to crack it just a little bit so it lets a little light in it. The bees don't like the light, so they're going to fill up these holes pretty quickly, actually. And then when it's full, you take it out, put your inner cover back on, your hive's ready to go. Stick this in a garbage bag, put it in your freezer, leave it overnight. The next day, it'll be brittle. Then you just crack it on a table, or you can twist it, and the propolis will fall out of the openings. And then it's ready to put back on the hive and ready to go again. And you have pretty clean propolis in your bag, much cleaner than what you scraped off during your hive inspection. I think I just went over all this. Yep. Okay. So how do we clean propolis, especially from scrapings? First thing you want to do is get rid of large debris, those pieces of wood that are in there, the dead leaves, whatever you can find to pull out. Then put it in a pail of cold water, because hot water is going to melt it. Cold water, and skim off the contaminants. Now, I'd like to say it's that easy, but I found out the propolis floats as well. So you have to kind of push it down and, you know, skim some and mix it up and push it down and skim some, but it does come off. You can see those little bee heads popping up to the top. And when you get it relatively clean, pour the water off and then spread it on paper towels to dry. So to prepare the propolis for an extract, you want to break it into as small of pieces as you can so that it has a lot of surface area. The best way to do that is to stick the propolis and a dedicated spice or coffee grinder in the freezer. You want everything cold. And then just take a small amount out, grind it up, and stick it back in the freezer and do another batch. Because the heat generated from the grinder will make it sticky and then it's impossible to get off. Let's see. Yeah, this was from FAO. Alternatively, pull the pieces into thin strips, thin sheets or strips. I've never had propolis that went into it, but you could pull. So I'm not sure what they're referring to with that. Okay, so we've got it cleaned and in small chunks. I put mine in a bag and kind of break it up with my fingers because my dedicated coffee grinder is on the fritz, the garbage. And I didn't want to use my good one. So I'm just breaking these up with my fingers. And I noticed that in the bag, if I shake it, all the small pieces fall to the bottom. So if I turn it upside down and shake it, now the small pieces are here to open. So I should be able to get out the smallest stuff first. Okay, so what are we going to use it for? Propolis can't really be used raw. It has to be in an extraction or an extract. So if we want to use it for an eye infection, it needs to be with water. If we want to use it in a toothpaste or mouthwash, you need an oil extraction. If you want an antifungal or sore throat spray, we're going to do an alcohol extraction. And for cosmetics, an oil or a glycol extraction. Okay, so to make a tincture, that's what we're going to do first.
Hold this down, so
There we go. So I have in here 140 grams of everclear. One is high in alcohol content that you can get. Because it extracts the most compounds out of the propolis.
Did you make the alcohol yourself?
Sure.
So what's that?
What is it? It's
Yeah.
140 grams of everclear.
Oh,
So 75% alcohol. You can use it vodka, but it won't pull out as much good stuff. And to this, we're going to add 60 grams of propolis because it's a 3 to 7, right? 3 to 7 ratio. Yeah.
Did you test that in service bureau?
I'm
the bottle isn't full. That's, I tested it.
Oh, okay.
I made it ready. Smell it. Whatever you want to do with it. Let's see if I can get 6. I'm gonna do this way. Let's see if I can get 60 grams out of here. Hear that? 60 grams.
What exactly is a tincture? I've heard the word, but I don't understand.
A tincture is an extract in alcohol.
So gargle this for a sore throat?
Yep, or spray it.
smell like some old cough drops that were cough medicine.
Okay, 60 is trying that. Once I thought it was dead. I have a feeling there's quite a bit of wax in this. It'll do well.
So when did you get that propolis out of your car? Like, was that just recently that you pulled that out?
That was stuff I pulled out last winter as I was cleaning up boxes.
Oh, okay. Now, you guys keep separate hives, but do you give your extra propolis and
Yeah.
wax to?
I'm the one that has the privilege of cleaning up the equipment.
Okay, so see if I can get this in here. Making a big old mess. And I just realized I forgot to bring my gloves. Oh, well.
And she makes sure that I don't hurt my shirt.
You guys work well.
So we're gonna put a tight lid on it and then give it a shake. And once or twice a day for the next 2 weeks, give it a shake, keep it in a dark cabinet, it's not a dark bottle. After 2 weeks, strain it, and then it's gonna go in my amber bottle. And I'll lace it with, this will be a 30% tincture. And this label says 30% propolis tincture, 60 grams propolis, 140 grams ETOH, made 10/24/2023. Okay, so we have an alcohol tincture. We can also make an oil extract. So this one is 20 grams of propolis in 400 grams of almond oil. I made it in April. Okay. Instructions. Yep, here's the instructions for how to do that. You're gonna put it in the jar, put it in a water bath. I use a crock pot because it keeps a steady temperature, but they, this came from FAO2, said for approximately 10 minutes, that's all they do. I left it overnight, I think. And then strain it and put it in a jar in a dark place. This should probably be a dark jar. And what did you put that one for? This one will use for cosmetics.
So if you did a crock pot, you'd put it on the low.
Yes, low setting.
At that temp.
Yeah, you don't want it to get, the oil to get higher than 122. Just like honey deteriorates after 105, the propolis will start deteriorating after 122. Okay, any questions on those two so far? Anything else? Okay, whoops, 2, there we go. Oh, okay, so a decoction is a water extract. This one you would probably only use for a child. You know, if they have mouth sores or a sore throat, you want them to gargle with something, you don't want to give them alcohol. So you make a water decoction. Pour boiling water over the propolis in a canning jar, mix thoroughly, put in a water bath for 1 to 3 hours, strain. It's ready to go. Because it has water, it has to be stored and moved for 2 minutes. So that's 1 part propolis to 4 parts water. Oh, okay, I guess that was the last one. All right, any questions about propolis? Yeah.
So, one before, the oil extract, that's what you put in the propolis sack.
Yes. Yes, that is what I put in the propolis. Okay, moving on to beeswax. Everybody knows what beeswax is. There's something like 264 different compounds in beeswax. I thought that was pretty amazing. Beeswax can be used for candles. It's the preferred candle by the church because it's smokeless, burns clean. It's used in art for encaustic painting and batik fabric dyeing. This is a picture, an encaustic picture that was on a mummy from the 2nd century AD, a long time ago. But I think it's just amazing that they were able to get that kind of detail out of pigment and beeswax. It's also used in pharmaceuticals as coatings for tablets and in suppositories and ointments. And in food applications, it's used to coat the skins of the fruits like apples. Keeps the water in and protects the delicate skins. And then beeswax food wraps are also a new popular thing. So beeswax has also been used in wood polishes for centuries. It's a great wood preservative. When it's mixed with oil, the oil penetrates and the beeswax fills the pores and protects it from moisture, keeps it shiny. And it's also great for lubricating screws. Stick your screws in there before you put them into wood. It's also great for on saws, saw teeth, or hand planers to make them slick, and it will prevent rust on steel tools. And then one of the biggest uses of beeswax today is in cosmetics, because it's an emollient, which means it softens the skin, and a humectant, which brings moisture into the skin, and then it works as a barrier to prevent water loss. Okay. Let me see, is that what I meant? Oh, I know what I missed. There are probably as many ways to render beeswax as there are people in this room. But I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how we do it. So we use primarily capping specs. And puts the cappings in a paint strainer and then dumps it into a 5-gallon bucket full of hot water, as hot as you can get. The wax will melt, the slum gum floats to the top. When it looks like the wax is all melted, it'll tie it off, push it down in and put something on it to weigh it. So, because it's amazing how much more wax you can get out of it when it's weighed. So when he gives it to me, it looks something like this. Like a piece of cardboard, pretty crappy, right? Okay, so this is a thin one, so it's usually not. So then he made me this nifty little thing, and you can, this is just for convenience. You can just take number 8 hardware cloth or aluminum window screen and put it across the I have an old roasting pan that I put my disposable tin in so that it catches anything that doesn't. And then this fits nicely on top. And then we take a piece of paper towel that you really want one fly. So separate the flies. The cheaper the paper towel, the easier it is.
I didn't know that was too wide.
Yeah. I don't even have 3. For me, that has 3. It is not good for me.
In other words, get the cheap.
Yeah, get the cheap. Well, anyway, we get the idea. So 1 block, and it's going to go in here, and then I take my disc and break it into a few pieces. Stick it in my oven. I'm fortunate that I have a full kitchen in my basement, so but it really doesn't make that big a mess. I wouldn't be afraid to do it myself. I had to put it up for, you know.
I dropped a pan of wax. She didn't have the rest of it.
Yeah.
After she's got a clean wax, she's got another melt.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, she leaves the valve.
Oh, once. So anyway, you want your oven turned as low as possible, which for most ovens is 170 degrees. And this is what comes out. just from a piece of one ply paper towel.
It's amazing how good
Yes.
paper towels are.
It does still have some impurities in it. But this is the way I store it. I'll put it in a box and store it this way. And then when I'm ready for it, I have, it's called a Presto pot, but it has a valve on the front of it. It's fake. And that's what he's talking about. I cleaned it and then forgot to close the valve. And so when I put wax in the next day and started up. But anyway, so that goes into the Presto pot. And I have this is a pouring pot for candles in case you're not familiar with that. This is a cone for turning cooking oil. And this is the filter. So this sits right in here. I think you're supposed to turn it inside out. And I put this in here. And stick this under my spigot and turn it on. So that's my second filter. And that, what comes out of there goes into little molds so that it's more usable. I have some, so these are about an ounce, I think. And these are even less, and they're easy to cut little pieces of them all the time. So that way it's, yeah, ready to go. Yeah.
You wash your cappings before you melt them?
You wash your cappings before you melt them?
What I do is I will put them out,
Oh, you
In
put up
the-
the piece, yeah.
you know, like, yeah, my Robbie yard.
Please clean it up.
We put out the couple of cappings. And unless there's a heavy nectar flow, they just find it almost instantly. And they clean it up. There's also, we put out our frames.
Yeah.
Once we extract it and they clean out the frames.
We do that, but I haven't done the capping stuff.
Yeah, I take like a plastic coat and I just spread it out as close to, you know, if it's that thick, that's as thick as I want the layer of wax cappings to be. And
Then you just kind of stir it up a little bit after that and I'm finished going through it or? will
Yeah,
they-
I
or
will
they
stir it
dig
out.
Through it?
a time or two,
Okay.
you know. I try to make sure I do that before the bees show up for lunch. Because they get cranky. Toss them around with the captains.
Yeah, I dig present.
But,
I have something new.
and then the other thing is it sort of gets washed when I put it in, cause
Yes, because the honey, whatever honey's left in there will bind with the water and it'll pull it out. And that's the only time then that it touches water. I don't do the water in the crock pot thing because I have had water pockets get into it. And when I put it in the Presto pot, that water will pull it because the element, heating element's on the bottom, not a good thing. So, it's all dry rendering for that. All right, so we've got clean propolis, we've got clean wax. Now what are we gonna do with them? Well, we can, this is in your handout. We can make a honey propolis wound dressing, 3 parts powdered propolis, so that's what you're gonna, use your little grinder for, and mix it with 7 parts raw honey. And then apply it to a bandage and put it on your wound. Or you can make a propolis throat spray, and I'll pass this around. Feel free to try it out. It's not something I would use, let me put it that way. But if you want to try it, help yourself. So it's a tablespoon of propolis tincture. So the tincture that we made here, that's going around. 2 tablespoons of raw honey and 1 tablespoon of warm honey.
We got a bad throat.
The way, when I first learned how to make a tincture, this particular person said, touch it to your tongue, and when your tongue goes numb, it's ready. So But that's how it helps a sore throat, you know, it's gonna. Okay, and then you have a sample of a propolis salve, and we're gonna make that right now.
Yeah, we're definitely.
So we need 23.8 grams of beeswax.
I also use the tincture on some athlete's foot. And other than the fact that it burns like a bugger, it seems to be more effective. And the other thing is you also look somewhat jaundiced with yellow coat.
Oh, don't feel bad in here, it will stay here, so whatever.
Oh, that spray well?
I'm not sure about the spray, but just the straight tincture will.
Oh, well, okay.
Yes, I was. Filter in the filter without gloves on, 'cause I just wash my hands like in your gloves on, and I'm bored.
I like handle walnut.
It's strong.
Okay.
Put on the side of your mouth, it'll make it numb too. I just found out.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I got it.
I know, that is.
Well, remember, a major part of that is everything.
Yeah, that's right.
The yellow comes from the coat.
And then it's like, oh, that's what you're acting.
Okay, 22.8 beans.
Okay, so
What is that?
This is olive oil, 15.5 grams.
Okay, so you're doing the salve.
This thing, yes.
Okay.
15.5 grams of tannin.
Where did you get that?
I will explain this one in just a minute, once I get this, melting.
What kind of flour will it be?
15.5.
How do you fracture coconut oil?
That you buy it, it's, same thing as MCT oil. You heard of MCT oil? It's fractionated coconut oil.
Supplement.
14, 15, 38. There we go.
Oh, that's, you need to take a shot first and do more of that.
And 13.5 of castor oil. I hope I have that much in here.
Oh,
Just get low. Have you got a little scale?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's sit on the scale.
And that's going in a hot water bag. But I need to add the water. Okay, so this, the basis for this formula is from this book, The Art of Alchemy. I highly recommend it. She, Petra, is going to be at South Florida Honeybee Expo, if anybody's interested. She has a little bit of everything, from soap making, both bars and liquids, to hair pomade or pomade, whatever you call it, beard balm, herbal salves, candle making, hand-knit candles, cookies, other desserts, ice cream. I mean, there's a little bit of everything in here. So I'd already decided that I wanted to make this fruitless sack. Then I started reading the instructions. Take the filtered propolis tincture and add an equal amount of castor oil. I'm like, I'm almost out of castor oil, waiting for my order to come in. So I didn't have enough to do that. And I already have an oil, it's almond oil with the propolis in it. So that's what I'm going to use the castor oil. So instead of doing this, she made the tincture and then added the tincture to the castor oil. And then you let it sit for 2 weeks. Let's see, stir it, incorporate, and leave the lid off the container to allow the alcohol to evaporate. I usually allow about 2 weeks for the alcohol to dissipate. This was Sunday. I don't have 2 weeks. And then after that, then we continue with the beeswax, with almond oil. She uses grapeseed oil. I didn't have any, so I used tamarind. Now, where did I get that from? In your second handout, there are some pages towards the back that say properties of oils used in skincare. So I just went through different oils that I had, and checked the different qualities that they have. And Tamanu is often recommended for the care of scars and other topical wounds, minor burns, scratches, etc., as well as acne, psoriasis, and eczema. It's a lovely emollient oil with rich skin feel, as well as anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant properties. Sounded perfect to me. So, and I had this little 4-ounce bottle that I needed to use anyway. So Tamanu it is. This is the formula that I actually did, not what she has. Okay.
I've never heard of Tamanu oil. Where do you? Is there a Tamanu?
I got it from Amazon.
What is it?
Oh, it comes from it's a tamarind tree, I think, in Africa. It's a seed from the tree.
And you just have it somewhere.
You should see my oil closet.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Big oil pot.
I have purchased 2 of those 4-ounce bottles for something.
Yeah,
Couple
she
years
keeps us
ago-
up for having a bankruptcy sale. So.
A lot of these, you can get like soap making
Yeah.
companies.
Yes,
All of,
I get my olive oil and organic coconut oil from Sam's Club.
yeah, I know, yeah, so.
And then, it's on there too, in the resources. My favorite supplier is Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's free shipping over $25. I think they have a $5.95 handling charge. And, it's relatively quick. I get it within a week.
It's a place in Chicago called Sober's Choice by
Yeah.
O'Hare.
It's on there too. So if you're up there, it's in this plane. So if you're up there, you can go to Sober's Choice. The disadvantage, or the bad thing I think about Sober's Choice is the smallest quantity it has is 7 ounces, which is a 1 gallon. So,
You're paying
I
a lot
mean,
of money.
yeah, so, I mean, the prices are good. I was looking today, almond oil, so a gallon, 7 pounds of almond oil is $27, and I think I paid 32. So that was with shipping from.
Yeah, but if you're just learning how to do it, you
Yeah.
don't wanna buy like that much and find out you don't like it.
Fine.
Yeah,
A lot of the simple stuff you can get at Walmart and stuff like
Yes,
that too.
yeah.
Like grapeseed oil and lemon.
There's a,
You can get it locally.
my landlord's from Amazon. When we get into essential oils, I'll talk about that there too. Okay, so this is just about done. Peru. And 15.9 of almond oil. But yeah, I have a little, I think it's actually a jeweler's scale. This one's measuring in grams. It measures to 100th of a gram. And 4 grams of vitamin E. Practice Choice, that's Wholesale Supplies Plus. The vitamin E in this is not for skin. It is an antioxidant that helps preserve the shelf life of the oils. Yep, that's right on. 4.0. Okay, so those hardened up a little bit. Just gonna stick it back in here. Did everybody get one of these that wanted it? The propolis salve?
Oh,
There's plenty of it.
Okay, all right, then I'm just gonna dump this in one. Rather than divvy it out.
What is it in here, the ingredient that smells like curry?
Probably the tannin.
All about smells.
That's what gives it the green color.
Yeah,
For
that's it, that's it. Mhm.
So we're not gonna make lotion bars tonight. We did that last week.
Yeah, the smell.
Or last year. But the formula or basic formula for lotion bars is in there. And with the list of oils and properties, you can go crazy. Make whatever you want. So you just pour that in a tin. Let it cool. We're good to go. And I love stainless steel because I can just take things down. This probably didn't like it very much.
What did you say it was? It smelled like the curry?
That's what she said.
What is the tannery? We've got it over here, we can pass it down. Now, what did we just pour all that into?
A 4-ounce tin.
And then it just
It'll
liquefies
just,
like.
Yep.
So do you make this small batch for each container every time?
Absolutely not.
I was like, well, that's too tedious.
Absolutely not.
Got me, right there.
Any questions on that one?
Do you want to explain why why you have the percentages on there? That's probably how you.
Percentages are so that you
Pretty stable.
can make whatever size batch you want. If you just go by the measurements, then you're kind of limited to doubling it, halving it. If you have percentages, plus this is also great. If you want to just try something out, make it by the percentages in grams. That's 100 grams, which is 3.5 ounces. Perfect test size. So this is close. I would have used 27 grams of beeswax instead of 27.8. And on down the way. Plus, if you're Excel savvy, you can put this into Excel, put in your macros, formulas, and all I have to do is say, which I did for lip balms. All I have to do is say I want 50, and it will calculate exactly how much I need to make 50. Sweet. All right, whoops, stay here. Moving on. Cutting board conditioner. So you have some of this too, I think.
Yeah.
What did I do? Okay, so I messed around with this one yesterday because I thought it was too thin. So write that down on your sheet. That's not even what I thought it was. I thought it was 32 and 60.
So how do you usually change that? If it's too thin or too thick?
You would, if it's too thin, you add, wait, that's not right. It's too thin, you'd add for these pets.
Yeah.
Man, and one's mineral. That's not right. So write down 64% for mineral oil and 32% for these pets. I'm pretty sure.
Said 64 and what?
64 for mineral oil and 32 for these. That's 96 and 2 for the essential oil. All right, so let me get those weighed out and we'll start. start that going. This is so super simple. You can make this tomorrow if you wanted to. I have to recalculate this. 5 ounces, right? Doesn't sound right in there.
It's fine.
7, that's 5.2. Okay, so let's work through this. Is that what you said? I said 5, that's 5.2. So you put 5.2 in your calculator and put that in memory recall. And then we want to figure out 64% of 5.2. So 5.2 times 0.64. Thanks. It's 3.33 basically.
That'd be the minimum.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll do that. Just a second. Gotta write it down. 3.33 mineral oil. 5.2 times 0.32 is 1.66. 5.2 times 0.2. It's still 1.1 ounce. Okay, so those are guys. Sorry, I hope this is. I can't believe it. Okay, so we're gonna put 3.3.
I think you said the important part is you play around and make it.
Yes,
yeah.
Because I thought it was 2 minutes. So
Even
then I
afterwards,
scraped all
you can-
that in and figured out how much more beeswax I needed to add, to make it the percentage I thought it should be, and then that's what you got, so. I'm gonna, while we're doing this too, I'm gonna pass around this what we call Lynn wax. So that you can look at this. So this is the next one on your formulations. You don't need those two. This is cherry. So you can just somewhat wax and put it in, or you can use their, maybe you should write it all up.
I think the walnuts and carrot.
Not as much as it can.
Just bring a lot of them, Ted, we'll wax them all up for you.
So, the lid wax is a historical, polish. Yeah, finish. It's used, at the Smithsonian and at, Colonial Williamsburg. So, it's been around for a very long time. All right, let's see what you can do. 3.3.
You wouldn't want to put this on anything too.
No, that is not so great. You could probably use it on a dining room table since you're not putting your food right on it, but you wouldn't want it on a cutting board. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. I don't really want to do 5 ounces either. Oh, well, 3.3 bucks close enough. And okay, guys, don't mind me. 1.66 of beeswax.
Should I use this to seal my beehive or? should I- Oh, the curtain thing would be good.
Yeah, if you use that, you want to let it sit for 2 hours so that it dries and you come back and buff it off.
No, I was thinking about putting it on the new beehives I built, the boxes instead of painting them.
I don't know how well it would hold up in outside.
Here, piece of them.
All right, and then. Yeah.
Oh, this is one, 5. Cause that's different than the way.
This is just plain old white mineral oil. It's super cheap. You can buy it anywhere. So this, I'm using 3.35. If I didn't want to add fragrance to this, I would just add 4% more in oil.
And if you're just applying it on the wood, you know, to finish the wood, I would also use on the bumper pad. Yeah.
Okay, so while we're waiting for this, I'm going to talk a little bit about essential oils.
When I use it on, all of the,
There is a page that says,
you know, the friction.
you know about fragrance. Page.
Trying it up real well. I do with that.
There is
I go from get my wood ready and everything else done out in my, I'm building. a new garage.
and take it out of the ground. I don't know, find it working.
Small, I won't have a lot of room.
That is not necessarily.
It's 30 by 50.
Might, for one thing, but it contains, heavy metals. So Brad created this better, the natural, because it's,
My
been
part of my
processed.
shop is 30 by 25.
It's the same way with essential oils. Buy essential oils anywhere. But you need to know, first of all, the plant name, because lavender oil from this company isn't the same thing as lavender oil from this company. This one may use Lavandula officinalis, and this one might use lavandin or lavandin grosso, or so you need to know what the plant is, first of all. Second of all, you need to know the IFRA, which is the International Fragrance Association's maximum usage rate. They can be kind of hard to find on essential oils. And then you need to know how that oil was extracted. Is it a cold press? Was it distilled? Could be a CO2 extraction. Those are the three biggest ones. So for instance, this is a cutting board. I need food grade lemon and orange essential oils. So I can't just, please don't go to Hobby Lobby or Walmart and just buy essential oil off the shelf. You have no clue what it is, and they really are concentrated chemicals. So you can do a lot of damage with essential oils. So I had initially pulled out a lemon that I already had from this reputable company, New Dimensions Aromatics. They give you the stat sheet, and then I noticed on the bottom, not for ingestion. In other words, it's not food grade. So I had to put some food grade, and believe it or not, these stay for medicine. So this company, Beekeeper, only carries food grade essential oils. So you're pretty safe with those. They did not give me an IFRA use on it, but I'm using such a small quantity, and it's not technically being ingested. I'm not using it as a food product, so I feel good with that. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So any questions on essential oils? Okay, this is almost done. Well, I think I'm just gonna, we'll just move on because time is it? After 8.
But can after 8.
Yeah, because you have the samples. We don't need to finish this, right? You saw it. So after that's all melted, I can take it off, and the fragrance oils, and then pour it into a tin. Okay, good enough. Moving right along. All right, this is the one everybody wanted last year. And this formulation is from Marie Rama of Humble B&D. She gives it out free. The only thing she asks is that you not sell products made with her free formulations. So you can make it, give it to your friends, use it yourself as many times as you want. Just don't sell it without checking with her first. And then she'll probably just ask for some kind of a compensation. This is a Burt's Bees dupe. So, and this was the 5th of her tries. So she is an excellent formulator. So we have a heated face first. I'm going to switch back to this one because we're in grams again. Oh, 0.8 grams of beeswax. Much.
Yeah, I mean, cutting board conditioner, you have the orange and the lemon.
Yeah.
That's basically to make it smell fresher.
Right.
So if you're wanting to use that as a wood finish or just.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in it. Even
It
for
doesn't.
cutting boards, it doesn't have to be in it. It's just that we've noticed everybody likes it. At markets especially, they smell everything. Everything.
But this scent will stay there forever.
Yeah.
If you keep renewing
Okay.
it. like you
12.8
would
of
cutting
beeswax,
board.
12.6 of coconut oil. So
I think that would be advantage.
oh shit, I forgot to bring a spoon. It is organic. Put that on my labels because I really don't care if it's organic or not, but we should care about that.
And I think all myself.
And then 12.4 of sunflowers. Here. Brambleberry, another one of my favorite companies.
That's where I order on this stuff. And they're real good about telling you what's, you
Yes.
know,
Oh,
fragrance, food.
I have I think I have slides later coming up about their showing their ICRA and their EU allergens and Prop 65.
And you can get small amounts. So if somebody's wanting to start this. You
You
don't
can
have
even buy kits and they have they also have recipes. So does wholesale warehouse supply. You can order a whole kit and everything comes that you need to do that, including the pipettes and sometimes gloves even. Got what I'm doing. Close enough. And 1 gram of lanolin. Not much. Marie has a video of there's that's pretty cute.
So lanolin is an oil.
Yes. There we go.
Make 2 minutes.
You make your own labels like.
Yes. Well, they're really hard to read because I just took my 3-inch one and reduced it to 1 1/4 inches. So, and I think it says 5 ounces on there, or 3 ounces or something. It's about 1 ounce in that. I didn't change it. Okay, so in this formulation, we're using peppermint essential oil. So again, I pulled out my new Dimensions Aromatics. We're putting it on our lips. So I went back and got David Doria again. But what if I didn't have essential oil. Could I use mint extract? Well, we have to think about solubility. So the ingredients on here are alcohol, water, oil of spearmint, and oil of peppermint. You cannot specifically water soluble, not oil soluble. Understand that? It would float to the bottom and not mix it. So you cannot use an extract, a cooking extract in place of an oil. Oh, yeah, fragrance oil. Let's see. So I think, okay, so this is from EOCAP. I was talking about the IFRA maximum usage rates. If you don't have documentation from the distributor, you can go to EOCAP. You put in the percentage that you're using, which in our case is 100% because that's the only fragrance that we're using. And it's peppermint and it's distilled peppermint. Okay, so then we choose how much. We're doing 40 grams in our batch, and it's a lip product, which is category 1. Like, give me usage rates. And this is what we get. So it shows all green here. So we're good to go with our peppermint. Well, what if I want to sub spearmint instead? I've got red here, so I can only use spearmint up to a 0.5% rate. Okay, so spearmint is one of those that's very, I won't say toxic, but very sensitive. Yeah. Okay, any questions on that? It's a great resource. Unfortunately, they don't have every essential oil, and I wish they would go up higher, because like in soaps, usually I use 3%. What do you use in your soaps? So do you know, don't.
I use my nose.
Okay.
Well, whatever smells good, that's where I
That's what
stop.
Okay. Well, and essential oils and soap don't last very long either. So, you know.
It depends on which ones you're using. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Any questions on that? Let's see what the next one is. What are we doing here? That went backwards. Okay, we'll get to this one in just a minute. So your samples are all peppermint, but I brought some gooey caramel flavor oil from Wholesale Supplies Plus. The Ranger, we're just about melted to try something different, and this lets me show you something different too. It's that time of the year, right? We need some caramel. So Marie had put she put it in formulation. Was it 2.5%, I think? Yes, so Marie has a 2.5% allowed for flavor. Let me say something else too. Flavor is determined by your brain and smell. It's not necessarily taste. I don't understand it because fragrance oils taste terrible, but flavor oils taste good. So I don't understand it. But you will not find a fragrance oil that is acceptable for lips. They will all say NA, and I'll show you that in a minute. So, okay, this is on Wholesale Supplies Plus. That's where this came from. We are making lip balm. We are using, oh, it didn't stay on. We're using flavor oil. That dot is supposed to be on there. And our scent is gooey caramel flavor. How much of the product are we making? 40 grams. And here's their IFRA. Maximum usage is 4.06. We're using 2.5. And recommended is 3. So we're going to do step to 3. Okay, any questions on it? So this is the kind of thing you should be looking for from your distributors. I mean, flavor oils or fragrance oils. Okay. Let's stay on there for a minute. think this is, oh, and I should be getting my phone to ready. So there are these things that are great if you're making 50 and if you choose fish. The tubes that you have, the green ones don't fit, they're smaller than this. These yellow ones do, but I'm gonna go along and show you how I do them. And I do this for even because they're small ones.
These tubes are plastic, right?
Yes,
Have you ever found in your use any
the paperboard,
paperboard?
I did use one, I did not like it at all. They're not, they don't, turn up, you push them up. And it didn't push up straight, I mean, you know, it's kind of like a push pop, you know? I ruined a hole. It was one that I actually purchased, because I wanted to see how it would really work, I was hoping I would like it. It was hot out, so that might have been part of the problem, I was trying to. Seven to last round. Somebody want to calculate what 3% of 40 is? That's gonna be over 1 gram.
One point two.
1.2, that's okay. Oh, yeah, it does. Very good.
They're testing
Oh.
to see if you're awake.
Okay, so,
Right.
so caramel. This is so sensitive that if there's any movement, it doesn't stay at 0. Okay. 1.2 grams. Oh, I got 1.3. Oh, well, too bad. That doesn't take much.
Did you use anything like this before you got the bees?
No, I don't think so.
She was saying that, medical bill.
Yeah, I used to work in a clinical laboratory, so working with pipettes and chemistry and junk, that's my thing. Okay,
I think she
we got
wants
everything
to
in this, right?
test-
Oh, I put the vitamin E in. And again, yeah, the vitamin E is just for the oils, it doesn't add skin feel or anything. And we're putting 0.2. That's not gonna be much. That's it. 2 grams. Okay. I think I'm gonna come over here. So, as this cools, it will shrink and you will get a divot on the top. There's no way around it. It's just the nature of the beast. So I put a couple of squirts in.
Did you use a syringe or that?
I think it cools it fast. So it's at the top. And then it's amazing, you can get like 3 more drops in it, even after you got it full because of the humidity.
25 that free.
All right, any questions about lip balm?
When you use that tray, you just pour it in and then you spray it, or how, what do you?
It's not supposed to work. I haven't used this in years because, packaging is the hardest thing in the world, I think. I have used those colored basic edition on Amazon for years. They come in 10 different colors. You can buy them each 50 separately, five colors with 10 each, or 10 colors with 5 each. I mean, there were all different ways you could get them. And then I always stocked up. And then last year, I went to order some, and the only color I could get was green. Okay, well, we'll come back with the others. No, still don't have them. So I had to order some others. And like I said, these are bigger around, which means my labels don't fit. I had to change them. They didn't fit me. So next time I make a big batch, now I'll try it, but I haven't been able to use them. This one is kind of care, I think. Darn kind. In other words, lip balm tubes are not all made the same. They all hold the same amount. They hold 5 grams, which is 1.15 ounces, but they aren't the same diameter. So you know. Okay. Any questions? Then this is in your packet. Basically, a lotion bar is just 1 part beeswax, 1 part hard butter, and 1 part liquid oil. Now you can split these up like the ones I use. I use 2 hard butters. I use shea and mango. So I split it to half of that. And again, fragrance, check your IFRA, although 1% is very low. So there aren't very many, like spearmint you wouldn't be able to use probably. Cinnamon you might not be able to use. So there are some essential oils that you wouldn't be able to use that 1%. Let's see. Okay, so then this is what we're talking about. Brambleberry is very good about getting all the documentation you need. So this is Proposition 65 statement. These are the ingredients that the state of California has determined are not good for you. There are none present in this particular fragrance is candy cane, I think. Does it say?
Yeah, it's right there over your shoulder.
Yeah, there it is, candy cane fragrance. I'm using this one for soap. Then this is the IFRA. So I think I have in your packet also the category list, because they don't tell you what's in what categories. Lips is category 1. I moved. Soap is category 9. Hand lotions are in 5, and I think it's 5C. And candles are in 12, which is down here. So you can see you can use it 100% for candles. In soap, I can use it up to 5.44%. Lips, not at all. And if I want to use it in hand lotion, I can use it up to 2.37. And then as of December 29th, 2024, if you don't sell anything, you don't have to be worried about your labeling. If you do, you have to list ingredients in what's called INCI, which is the scientific name. And I think I'll show you. On the lip balm one, at the bottom of the page, there's 2 columns, and those are your ink names. So one of them has the peppermint oil, and the other one is the caramel flavor oil. So Sarah Alba is beeswax. You don't call it beeswax. It's Sarah Alba. Okay. And as of December 29th, 2024, we are going to be required to list allergens as well. They already do this in the UK. So when I make the label for this soap, I will have to put on the bottom of it that it contains benzyl benzoate, limonene, eugenol, and linalool. And that means nothing to us, right? When we think allergens, we're thinking things like tree nuts, That's the biggest one, I guess. What else would you be allergic to? So,
You usually do like the scientific name bracket, English name or
Uh,
anything.
right now, I'm doing common name and then the inky name in parentheses and it's in italics. Because that's what my customers know is the common name. I'm not certain that's the way it should be done, and I need to look into that more carefully. Marie Gale is a great one for labeling, and now that US is going the way of UK, she's gonna have to revise all of her stuff too. But anyway, this is all information that you need to know when you're using fragrances. Okay, I think that's all I got. Yep. Any questions? Anybody want to talk about the ways they render wax? I'm curious.
Trial and error,
Yeah,
That's what we used for a while until we settled on,
yeah.
you know, we've tried, doing a solar melt. It didn't really work so well. She didn't like it because the water and the wax.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I remembered you last year talking about the screen, but you didn't bring it in and show us what you did, so
Yeah.
I've got a screen that fits over a large roasting pan, and I didn't know it was a single ply paper towel, I've been putting basically 4 layers of.
Oh, yeah.
paper towel. It does, it does.
Way slow.
Yeah. Now,
Before
what
this,
temperature
I
do you
used
set
to
at your oven at? What temperature do you?
170 is as low as it'll go.
Okay, so I've been doing like 180.
Yeah, I just said it as low
I
as
get
it'll go.
impatient.
And my oven will stay on for 6 hours, I think. Paying attention to it, I just let it go. And when it shuts off, and then I take the thing out, and then you have to heat it back up to get the paper towel out, because it's stuck to the mesh. We have to heat it up to get that out, but yeah, that's how I do it.
Okay, yeah, she's got the setup.
If I don't feel how far I can stay on forever.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm glad I could do that.
Yeah.
I leave it on all the time.
So what did you do to get the water in your wax? Cause I do
And you don't get one.
that and I've never
I
had.
don't
water.
really know. It just somehow, when I used to use a crock pot and I would put water in the bottom of the crock pot.
Uh-huh.
At that time, we weren't doing the water first. So after the bees cleaned it up, it's kind of, well, where the cappings are dried up and flaky almost.
Yeah.
So I think I took a t-shirt and stretched it over the top of my crock pot, put a rubber band around it, kind of made it a pocket in it, and piled the cappings in there, put the lid on, and then let it melt from the heat and the steam of the water. But I would end up with pockets of water on the bottom inside.
of course,
I don't know, it's like it was cooling, like the wax was cooling too fast, I guess. But I don't
yeah,
know.
of course, the other thing is, she said, I don't want you doing it with water, and she wanted me to try it with the solar melter. And, we always say, put a layer of water down so that it doesn't stick to stuff.
Mhm.
And she didn't like what I gave her then. And then without her permission, I put the cappings in
That's
this,
the best way to go.
big 5-gallon container with the paint sprainer. And, like I said, the paint sprainer, if you go to like Menards and get the 5-gallon paint sprainer bags, that fit over, so, it was like a hairnet upside down on it. And then I could just throw the cappings in there and stir it around. And then once I was sure everything was melted, then I would just sort of fold the, strainer over. And I have you could buy turkey fryers that have like a vented type insert you could put in there. And so I had that, and since our turkey fryer, the main pot had developed a hole. It's like, okay, I can use this for whatever I want, and I use that with a lot of old bolts that I had laying around to weigh that down. And you can tell when you've got that, all the wax out of the bag, because if you know, once you get that disc out, then you can get to the filter bag again. And the stuff that's in there is just crumbly, like sort of a dirt.
Yeah,
It's good. If it has a bunch of chunks in it, I just go at it a second time and remelt and, you know, put the weighted sieve from the turkey fryer back on top of it. It eventually gets to the point where it's just, you know, loose like dirt.
yeah, that's similar what I do. I take all the cappings and I put them in the crock pot along with the water. And bring it up basically to a boil. And then while it's still really hot, I've just got a little hand strainer. And I strain out the bees and legs and that type stuff for the, you know, for a first clean.
Well,
And I let that solidify, and usually there's a bunch of crap on the bottom of my disc.
Yeah.
So I scrape some of that off, do it all.
Well, that's what you saw
Yeah.
in that disc that she had.
Right, and then I take my disc, break it up, and I put it inside the paint strainer bag. Put water in that crock pot, put that in there, and it starts to seep out through it, and I just keep twisting it until I can't twist it anymore. And I end up with that crumbly brown gunk.
Well, we get the,
And at that point, I got pretty pure yellow wax coming out of my crock
we
pot.
get the crumply brown with the first pass.
Whoops.
And like I said, it's in the paint strainer bag
Yeah.
with the weighted sieve on top of
Is
it.
the chat still in here?
It,
Should be.
Show chat previews.
I've got,
Oh,
well, the chat should be along the right
so
hand
what do I
side
need to
there.
do? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
so anyway, but then
Yes.
she gets that disc with the crust, or not crusty, it's just sort of a soft powder. Do you still have one of those pieces of wax, or did you melt those already?
Yes. So I was gonna pass these around too. This is beeswax. You're not familiar with those.
Yeah, we made these last year.
Yeah, we did
But
beeswax.
these have pretty bees on them.
This is the third one I've gotten. The first two were too small.
So. Oh, so instead of so.
I think it was all of this.
Okay.
You're gonna know where it's all in this and that.
It's coated with bees.
Wow, they've got it. Well, I know your price down. No, I was cool if they could.
This is where you get most of.
I don't usually.
Yep.
You can have it. Think I was gonna put my child in that.
That's what I've got.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I throw all the rock stuff in the crock pot. Things like that, and I put this stuff, put it in the bees for you.
They should always have it.
Block. Then put as much of it out as I can,
I think she left it.
and then I get a clean disc out of the crock pot.
We go through this,
Right.
that, what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
Stuff.
So you put it in the strainers,
Yeah,
you put it in the crock pot, put the disc, and then she's putting it in the oven. I put it straight in the hot pot without a strainer, and then end up with something like that. And then I put
So I
that.
think that's
I like it, I would smell it.
That's an important point. It's like,
Yeah.
make a tiny batch first,
Yes.
make sure you get the consistency you want.
This
And then put it percentage.
No, my first one was out like that.
Okay. Okay.
And then I put that in the pink strainer.
Yeah.
Which is essentially a big towel. And then I put
All of that, yeah.
Well, that's,
some kind of, I'm gonna look for.
I looked at a bunch of videos and.
Really, that's
people
interesting that you can't
were
smell
saying
it.
that's
and
what
look
it
in the-
is.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered.
So-
The percentages on the fragrance oils and
It's all
stuff,
beef part.
anything that's going on your skin or in your mouth,
That first-
very important, pay
Yeah.
attention to those. If you put somebody in a hospital. Or
Take
kill them.
these for JD
This is- This is what life is about.
And I found out. I didn't know anything about it.
My birth home in there too, so it's not just the. Just
That's
cat.
a no-no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these are really.
Yeah, so this is the way it's done. Yes, that's the way you're getting this. You can, wait around for a little while. I didn't do it.
Ken, you wanna take it? What products? I think Kathy's dying for turpentine.
They say.
Oh, and wax.
I know.
Oh, it's.
I have melted tongue. Take the cap on.
Well,
Yeah.
So then I tried. Here's why.
Well, it looked like from the ingredients back here, it all says it's turpentine.
It's light torch.
That's okay. Sure.
We can go over and visit.
Oh, this is.
You made that.
Yeah, yeah, I did the award plaques for the Illinois State Beekeepers Association. And so that,
You can put it back.
that's sort of reject because my machine went crazy on me and did that.
It
And
was
I don't know.
flavor oil and it was right the whole thing.
Have you got a laser cutter for this? No, that's CNC.
Plantain.
So Rebecca says, great presentation, thank you. In the chat. Do we have any other online questions?
Yeah.
Because they sort of want us out of here by 9, so we gotta wrap up.
Oh, yeah. I had it sanded down. I was like, I better-
Yeah.
Write the words on it.
Yeah.
If anybody wants me to figure out what the actual officials of the Kenny Board Commissioner are, send me an email or write your name down or something. Write your email down and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, what you said, here's your book, that looks amazing, here's your.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, I should order that.
Sharon, will we be able to put those handouts out on the
Sure.
SharePoint site?
Yep, I can make PDFs. Will that work?
Tom, will that work?
On what?
PDFs of the handouts to put out on the,
What's that on the Facebook?
yeah. Yep, those will,
Let me know. Just text me.
Yeah, it's had it.
Well, thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
all right, we're gonna wrap things up on Zoom here because we need to be out by 9. We gotta clean up the room a little bit.
Share for each table. So.
One
all
chair
the
for each
extra
table?
chairs need to be put up.
So, good night.
That's all. it's, you know.